James Ernest of the Grueling Truth, here with Landon Cassill of StarCom Racing. Landon, why did you pick StarCom?
Well, I mean, they sort of picked me. I think they were in need of a driver, and I've been available this first part of the season, so it was kind of cool to join with a new team that is trying to make a place in the sport for themselves. There's a good market for new team owners, and so it's kind of been my niche lately to work with teams like this, and so it feels like a good pairing.
Excellent. So you've got the experience helping to start a team, helping to build a team, it sounds like?
Yeah, yep. I've worked with multiple new teams in the sport, and so I've kind of carved a bit of a niche in that way.
How did winning that Rookie of the Year in 2008 really spring your career?
Well, it was just a good resume builder for me at the time. You kind of, in your rookie season, that's the prize you can win, and other than winning races or winning a championship, sometimes it's such a competitive sport, it's hard to compete against the veterans to do that. But I had some pretty good competition in my rookie year, and so it was definitely an important trophy to have.
How have you developed over your career? How has your driving style changed?
Well, I think my driving style has been pretty similar over the course of my whole career. It's probably my preparation has developed, my physical fitness, the way that I give feedback has probably developed. Just my experience at all these racetracks has built me a pretty good notebook after every single race, and I've got a lot of information that I've kind of provided myself over the years, and that's just helped for my preparation every time I go back to a racetrack.
I've read that you are really big into that, the preparing for the races mentally, but as well physically. Is that true?
Yep, everything you've read is true. I don't know what you've read, but I've definitely done a lot of exploring on that side of things, and it's my belief that our sport is a endurance sport, that we are endurance athletes. The heart rate in our cars is similar to marathon runners for the 4 hours that it takes to run a NASCAR race. So it really seems like that path was a good path, and so I trained myself in the form of long distance triathlon, swimming, biking, running, and strength training, and that's really complemented my racing.
How will working with Derek Cope allow you to progress to the next level?
Well, I mean, we'll just have to see where it goes. I mean, Derek's got a lot of experience, and he's been around for a long time. I think he's kind of found these StarCom folks and this new ownership group that really wants to race. They really want to make a strong team, and so they're putting a lot of faith in him to do that. So it's a matter of just kind of working together to make the right decisions for the team.
I've heard that you were born to race. Is that true? That with your early love of motor vehicles?
Well, I was born into cars for sure. My family owns a car dealership in Iowa, and so I was, I don't know if I was born to race, but it sure seems like it. Just being around cars my entire life.
Yeah, one of the early things that you were into was kart racing. So who has more kart championships, you or Super Mario?
Well, probably just by sheer volume, Super Mario's got the kart championships, yeah. But I've had a handful. I won multiple national titles as a kid before I moved up into full-size stock cars, and I traveled the country racing go-karts.
How did being one of the drivers in GM's racing developmental competition help your career?
that put me in front of the team owners and the scouts that were looking for young talent at the time. Chevy put together a test where they invited kind of an elite group of drivers, and Joey Logano was the driver that was in that one. The 8,500 champion Ryan Hunter-Reay was in this group, and I was selected by Hendrick Motorsports and got a contract with them after that.
Changing from front row sports to StarCom, what was that transition like for you?
Well, I mean, it wasn't as much of a transition. I mean, I left front row last year and was sort of just like any other free agency transition, I guess. We were transitioning, from one team to a new team. So, the race season had started. I missed the first couple races of the season before I connected with StarCom. So, it's hard to say that it was a transition as much as, just a new opportunity for me.
Your thoughts on working with Tony Fuhr, your crew chief?
Tony, I mean, he's great. He's a kind of a good old boy and car guy. Just knows race cars real well. He's a very natural worker on the cars. His instincts, lead him in the right direction. And sometimes an old school guy like Tony is what a new team like StarCom needs. They need someone that just knows how to make the right decisions. As the team develops and grows, we'll definitely need more engineering support and more of an engineering staff. But at the level that we're at, having a guy like Tony Fuhr kind of leading the way is perfect.
With missing a couple of the races at the start of the year, like you had mentioned, are your goals for the 2018 season changed, or what is a reasonable expectation for the team?
I think just establishing some consistency with StarCom is probably a reasonable goal. Finding the peak of our performance, figuring out what our cars are capable of, and where our deficiencies are, and building on that. I think if StarCom really figures out what they want to do in this sport, is when the long-term vision will come into play. In 2019, you might see them competing at an even higher level.
How will improvements in the team, change your goals? Like you were saying, hopefully in 2019, some loftier expectations. Yeah,
I mean, it just, like I said, just depends on how the team develops as the year goes on. I mean, if the team owners are as committed as they are and stay that committed and can give the team the tools that it needs to upgrade their performance, the sponsorship will follow, and that's just how the sport works. The sponsorship kind of chases the cars that are performing, so the team owners kind of have to make that investment. They have to kind of keep pushing the team to perform better. And so hopefully, we see some top 20 finishes and things like that allow us to continue to expand our engineering staff and build more new race cars and things like that.
What was your favorite racetrack that you've competed on so far?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to beat Daytona, that's for sure. And I feel like Darlington is just a classic, and it's just such a unique track that it ranks up there for me for sure.
Who do you feel has had the biggest impact on your career so far?
Probably my dad. I mean, he's just always kind of been there for me, pushing me when I needed pushed, and motivating me when I needed motivated, and he gave me my initial opportunities as a driver. And so I'd say my dad has made the most impact on my career.
You mentioned sponsorship and how important that is to NASCAR. Other than StarCom, are there smaller sponsors that are currently with the organization, or is it just the one big sponsor currently?
Well, right now StarCom Fiber is the team owners and the sponsor, and and there are we've had USFRA, the First Responders Association, on the car for a couple races, but they're being a new team. They typically come into the sport, and they have a lot of open inventory to sell sponsorship on the cars. So, they've got a marketing staff and people that are selling sponsorship every day and trying to close deals. So, we've got some open inventory.
And then, if fans are wanting to learn more about you and the team via social media, the web, where would you recommend them check out?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely active on the internet. Please visit my Twitter website at twitter.com/Landon Cassill, LANDONCASSILL, and you'll find a lot of my social media updates there.
When you're not on the track and you're not practicing, which I can, and preparing, which I assume takes a lot of your time, what do you get into? What do you do for fun?
I like to train and work out. I also love golf, so we live on a golf course, and I love to take my 3-year-old son Beckham. He loves to golf as well, so typically don't go golfing without him.
Yeah, the little guys are fun. They grow up too fast, though. Oh gosh.
Yeah, he's fun.
Yeah, shoot, I remember when my guy was little like that. He's now 6, and so I mean, they get so big overnight. But that's awesome that you all golf together. That's great.
Yeah, he loves it. So I typically don't go without him.
Nice. Obviously, with all the travel, it's more of a work weekend than anything. In the off season, do you get to go back to some of the sites? Down by Talladega, where all them the Robert Trent Jones golf courses and all that are in Alabama.
Yeah, sometimes I take my clubs on the road with me, but honestly, I try not to because it just can end up being a distraction. But if the weekend schedule looks like it has a lot of downtime in it, I'll bring my clubs with me and try to play some golf. But I haven't played the Robert Trent Jones courses.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I hear great things about them. So yeah, with your travels being down that way, it's definitely worth checking out. And later in the year, I know you'll be here in Kentucky, and we've got a couple nice courses as well.
Yeah,
definitely. Final thoughts on the season, and of course with Texas coming up this weekend.
Really with Texas, I'm excited because I love that racetrack. It's really fast. I really like the new repave there, and I feel like it'll be a good, fair assessment for how our cars perform. And so hopefully we got a close setup starting, and we've got ourselves in the ballpark that we can really get an idea of where we need to be.
Sounds great, Landon. We're rooting for you, and of course we're always rooting for StarCom Racing. We want to wish you the best with Texas, and definitely love to have you back on the show again in the future.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.